Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so, you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain... Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Four old ladies from East Grinching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length plug and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom of Being Colin.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
You know seafood makes me come out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. It's going 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be to throw the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsley used. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be...
Bit early there, mate.
up on tonight's National Night.
Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for advance. The landslide...
Listen, mate, we often get a bit of interference around this time of night, so keep your eye on the machine on the bottom right. You can move that white dot up and down, avoiding the interference using the yellow knob or your scroll wheel.
Of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly.
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the scene. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
We'll be going live to Advance HQ to hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy,
I need you to fill out the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
Thought I'd ask him about the election.
personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you.
I thought that was our little secret.
He doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Me too.
Yeah.
Wicked, we've made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National
Jeremy.
News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners in advance. But first,
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
Wolf is here with a star.
What was that like?
Yes.
Well,
Wow,
as
what was
I
that
said
like?
to Peter.
Well,
as I said to Peter.
Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? Peter
He's
Jensen.
a wonderful chap. He really is. He's a wonderful chap.
I've worked with
He
him on
really is.
several. I've worked with him on several. Peter, what a wild ride this has been. What a wild ride this has been. Do you know what, Megan?
Wow, that is fantastic. And
That
am I
is
right in saying that the
fantastic.
character you play in this
Am I
movie
right in
is
Been on that shot a bit long.
Absolutely
quite
right.
an academic?
A scientist.
Absolutely.
Remember the 10-second rule.
Exactly where you're.
at all?
Exactly where you're. But seriously, yes, you're right. But seriously, yes, you're right. From my last starring role, from my last played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Sergeant Brock Rockman. You'll remember
Get back to who's talking.
You'll remember that
One
that was a
soldier's
true
fight for a
story
love
that's
that's
one
impossible.
soldier's fight for a love of course,
For free.
a love of course. I think it's
For
grossed
free.
over $1 billion. But I think it's grossed over
obviously
$1
who's
billion.
counting?
But,
It's a role that's
Who's
scooped
counting?
2 best
Get on the
actor
speaker,
roles,
mate.
if I remember
Two best
correctly.
actor
It's so sweet of
If
you
I
to
remember
mention it.
correctly.
But I really
So
am
sweet
not
of you
in
to
it
mention
for
Audience is
the-
getting
I really
bored,
am
mate.
not in it for
Those
the
3
awards.
little
All
statues do take
Those
pride of place
3
on my
little
memory.
statues do
With
take
all
pride of
the
place on my
others,
memory.
I'm sure.
With
So,
all the others,
if you're not
I'm
doing
sure.
it
So,
for awards,
if you're not
what is
doing
it then
it
that
for
drives
the
you?
awards, what is it then that drives
Mix it up a bit, eh?
Beautiful question, Megan. And not easy to
beautiful
answer.
question, Megan.
And not easy to
Like
answer.
you,
I'm afraid.
cut
I'm
me,
afraid.
and I will
Cut me.
and I will
Give us a reaction
That's how
shot.
it feels.
often,
Doesn't it? That's how it feels.
doesn't it?
Bleeding.
Too long on this, mate.
Giving.
Bleeding,
Suffering.
Giving.
For one's audience.
suffering.
For one's audience. I suppose in the end I do it for the difference. I suppose in the end I do it for the difference people that I inspire. I do it for the people that I inspire. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring
And
about in the
today,
world.
of course,
They're not the one talking.
Today,
Some
of
real
course,
change, it
we're
looks
in
like
for
in the
some
coming
real
few
change.
months.
It looks like in
What
the
do you
coming
make
few
of
months.
this historic election
What do you
result?
make of this historic election result?
Well, now you're asking. Historic election now you're asking. Indeed, historic is a word. Indeed, historic is a word.
isn't it?
Well, very difficult. Difficult, isn't it? Very difficult.
Bored with this shot, mate.
Clear that when it comes to politics, clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive, not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
I believe you brought in a clip
next
from
week.
the Mega
Right,
Round.
I've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character,
Dr. Lod's Hemlock,
My character,
faced
Dr.
with a
Lod's
decision
Hemlock,
that could affect
is faced with a
humanity's
decision
very
that could
survival.
affect humanity's very
Exciting stuff.
survival.
Let's take a look.
Exciting stuff.
And we're out.
Go to the film clip, screen
And
1.
we're out. Mr. Blundercatch. Mr. Blundercatch.
Watch out for that interference, mate.
I don't understand it.
Doctor.
I don't understand it.
Oh, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio. I'd love to hear what he's saying, but don't switch to it now. You can go to the archive when the broadcast's done. We keep everything.
I don't know that. You think I don't know that?
Nolans, we mustn't. Nolans, we mustn't.
Dr. Lance. You Dr. Flanagan. Miss Flanagan.
Did it for you, baby. Did it for you, baby.
Dr. Hemlock.
For you, gonna change the world.
Dr. Hemlock.
Gonna change the world. You're gonna listen to me.
Dr. Hemlock.
Told me.
Dr. Hemlock.
I didn't listen. Told me.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, she said. I'm drowning, Lance, she said.
You need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Look at this.
The virus. The sterility. The sterility. It's falling. It's falling. It's falling. This is the key. It's falling.
So at the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
We have to ask ourselves if we should.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen here is about 2 seconds behind the master screen here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button or the space bar on your keyboard for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you've got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now.
Loose leaf. Remain.
Mate, if you don't turn up the broadcast volume, you won't be able to time your bleeps.
All for just
Good.
$7.97.
You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice,
now,
but I'll
and
try
you'll
and help you through it, and soon we'll have
on
you
display
bleeping like a
case.
pro.
Free.
Remember,
That's
button
right.
lights up,
Absolutely
count 1,
free.
2,
With a retail
hold it
value
down.
of $18.99.
Remember to select
You'll
screen
purchase
1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live.
This is
That's
what
too
is
late.
available
You can use the number buttons on your keyboard. 1 to
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters. I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters. Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury are about to make their acceptance address. Are about to make their acceptance address.
cut to the outside broadcast.
Go for it, Pat.
Shall I start?
Get ready
Go
to
for it, Pat.
Thank you all for
Okay,
coming.
well,
And, thank you all
where
for
do I
coming.
start?
And, well, what a day.
They said we couldn't do
They
it.
certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying, southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shag.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put.
Gotta get the whole
But to be
word.
honest, who can blame Peter
That's
for
not a swear
celebrating?
word.
Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that
that
Advance are
shop
not
in
a
Oxford.
political party.
You
A
bleep
party's
the
what you
wrong
have when
bit.
things
You're
are going
bleeping
well.
normal stuff.
When the country is suffering, you don't need a party.
Remember the 10-second rule.
A team that can change things. But today
Come
is
back to the
day
person
one of a
talking.
new future. A better, fairer
Back to who's
future.
talking.
So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again,
Hold it down a
colourfully
bit long
put,
there, mate.
not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act, Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort of... Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats...
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we get that bleeped out for you in time. If not...
Most people come into the archive room when they're done with a broadcast. That way you can see what you did and how it looked to the public. As you can see, there's 3 sections to the archive. Broadcasts, that's what you've put out. Rushes, which is all the stuff that was on all the screens. And adverts, which is any advert that you've chosen to show. So let's have a look at the broadcasts. Okay. On the left, you can see all the broadcasts that you've done. You can also get to hear from the main menu if you don't actually want to do a broadcast. You just want to see some of your past work. Select any of those and click Load Tape.
Let's take a look
Why
at
not
what's
watch
coming up
what you
later on
just did?
tonight on
When
Channel
you're done,
1.
hit back.
At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quotation game, and it's a nail-biting quiz tonight as a team of nuclear physicists take on 4 old ladies from East Grinching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom of Being Colin, taking us all the way up to 11:15, where, as usual, Dr. Adrian Atkinson-Blimey will be grilling his guests in Incisors, and tonight sees a return for leading economist Katie Brightman. Finally, at midnight, it's the National Weather Report, before we say good night until tomorrow. But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson for the National Nightly News.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving on up, the election win that experts said just couldn't happen. Hopeful or hostile? Controversy as global megacorporation Remington Cyst buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hams leaves. And a spoonful of sugar. Meghan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence.
Right, click on Rushes and let's have a look at those. Okay, these 4 screens, they're exactly the same as the 4 screens that feed you the studio signal when you're doing the actual news. Of course, the difference here is you can mute any screen you like or any combination of screens, and you can have a listen to what was going on behind the scenes. Just select any segment, that's any bit between ad breaks over on the left, and hit play. When you're done checking out the backstage secrets, hit back.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me come out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving on up, the election win that experts said just couldn't happen.
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
Oh, but this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
I know. I think...
Apparently he's been drinking since lunchtime.
Christ, he's a liability at the best of times.
I know. God help whoever has to bleep.
It's Dave! Oh, Christ, it's noisy in here, Jesus. Right, hang on, let me just get out some flags, darling. Yeah, I'll take that one with me. Cheers. Right, oh, that's better. Let's get set up and get on with it, eh, so I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they? You can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These two buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine, and you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
One of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon.
10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical freethinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington's appointment is a risk for the giant mega corporation. Sophia, as our regular viewers will be aware, has always been a wild child and has been romantically linked to several movie stars and sports personalities. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. Many were surprised that the two scientists, who've shared a fractious rivalry for many years, decided to undertake this expedition in each other's company. However, the two have released a joint statement in which they opine geniuses don't have to like each other to achieve remarkable results. Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And Beaver's bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more people saying they're scared to walk the streets alone at night, could this be exactly the right time for Advance's new approach? All that and mega morph with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand.